right, here we go. Which one has the fewest subscribers? Go back. This was 4. Okay. Okay, so I suppose I gotta have Blender open, don't I? And since whatever, I've made some modifications to the robot octopus that we left last week. Farts. Where did it go? Let's see if I can find it. Right. Ha. Okay. So really, okay, so we'll make this big again. Really the big difference is that I've toned down the brightness of the top, the dome, in that I added some color variance here and made it a little more obvious. What I did last time was I just sort of had some scratches, and it looked cool, but then when you applied like a multiply, I think it was a multiply filter, and that just didn't work for me. So what I've got here is a little bit of a shadow around the rim, which honestly I should have had to begin with, and I have that on the bottom part too, the computer part. And then the dome has, I don't know if you can tell from the from my recording here, but there's a little bit of noise applied to it. Hand-painted noise. Noise probably isn't the right word, just because noise typically means random and procedurally generated, which this was not. But I started work on another robot, which I don't think I'm gonna show off tonight. I'm not streaming the work on that one for reasons. And so instead, I'm going to work on my next robot in tandem here. Start a brand new file. A robot called the Travers-o-bot, which is more boring than the last two robots that I did, but I think this one's going to go quick because it's pretty simple shape, pretty standard setup, and probably most of the time it's going to be spent working on the texturing. But we shall see. Just bear with me a second here. I don't know what the heck this thing is. Anyway. Okay, and yeah, we're going to retweet this. Sorry, I got caught up doing something else. Bear with me a moment here. Okay, fine. Okay, so let's do some stuff. This is probably as good of a start as I'm going to get, because let's see if I can describe this a little bit. The robot is sort of like, I think it's called the 1X robot in Futurama. It's like a little... No, I don't know if that's right. I'm sure this doesn't matter. But I'm going to look it up anyway. Robot 1X. Okay. Yeah, kind of. It's sort of short and stubby, and it's got a big screen for eyeballs that in theory has a camera somewhere so that it can see. And then it has these sort of pincer arms. So yeah, it's kind of like the 1X robot, except that it doesn't float. It has treads so that it can traverse areas that people can't really get to. It's smaller. Yeah, all right. Well, get right into it, I guess. Front. It does have a slight taper. I don't know if I want to So the way I have this set up, I have like a little window, and the window is inset. The window being the screen, right? Sort of like a truck or car. Don't know why I said truck right away. Like a wraparound, but like flat in the front. So yeah, I guess truck-like. I don't know if I want to put that in here because again, I'm going for low poly. The design is pretty simple, so I don't think I'm going to use a lot of polygons anyway. So you know what? I'll just add it, and then I can take it out if I want to later on. This is probably sufficient as far as it doesn't seem like it's very tapered on top. That's better, I guess. And then we'll just add a loop in here, and the screen takes up maybe the top third of the face. We'll go like that. Yes. Yeah, it's actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think that's a good idea because this is more like a skirt. Sort of like tread guards. You know, so it makes sense, I think. Okay, fine. For me to do the little... Yeah, let's see. All right, so I don't have the drawing that I've done up on the screen, obviously. So my dilemma is, how do I represent the shape of this object? Do I make separate pieces, or do I make it all one solid piece? Because the skirts, in theory, could pop up, like if they get nudged. The side ones can. I guess the front ones can too. It's sort of the point in that it allows it to be more flexible. And in the game, in theory, that could happen. You could actually wind up with a situation where the skirts sort of flop up a little bit. I mean, like a mud flap, I guess, or a... Do tanks have this sort of thing? I'm not entirely sure where I got this idea from. Kind of. Okay. I'm probably spending way too much time thinking about this. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to back this up. All right. And this I'm going to use for the actual eyeball section, because the eyeball section is separate from the skirt section. That doesn't make any sense. You don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so take this, these faces. Is this on? No, it's perspective. Okay. Let's go like this. And I've already done it wrong because this thing has a little nose in the front. So let's put that nose in there. This is probably not the best way to do it. How do I put that nose in there? Oh my god, I thought this was going to be simple. But it's got so many like little design quirks that I've incorporated into the drawing that I don't know how to tackle them. Because there's the matter of sort of sticking to the low poly concept, that I don't want to develop something, like I don't want to put a lot of resources into something that isn't supposed to have a lot of resources. But also, things that I didn't think about that would need extra consideration. Like this nose piece. Okay, so I think that, all right, I have an idea. I have an idea of how I could do the nose. So first of all, I'm gonna grab these pieces and I'm gonna delete this. It's not necessary. This is the part where the skirt will sit. It's not necessary for it to be right here. Be here right now. So I'm just gonna get rid of it. Back face culling, because that's how I like it. Now, what I'm gonna do here, because there's a little nose here, I'm just going to do a little cut. And I'm going to symmetrize it. So this doesn't have to be perfect. And actually, I think it's probably beneficial for it not to be perfect, because then that means that I have some options. I have side A or side B. Which one looks better? And then, just to keep the quads pretty, just do that. And then, no, we want faces. I don't know why I did that. And then we do like this. And we're going to extrude, scale it in. Nudge it back a little bit. Oh, that looks cool. That already looks cool. I'm happy that I stuck that out. Because that, I like that. I like that a lot. But I said I would symmetrize this, so let's do that. Am I in the wrong, son of a gun. I'm in the wrong angle. What are you doing? Why are you doing it from, why are you doing it from there? Okay, there we go. So now it's facing front, in the front that we want it to. So, again, symmetrize. That looks fine. Let's do the invert or the reverse. So essentially it's, the big difference is size of the nose piece right here. But also I think the angle's a little bit different on the side there. No, maybe not. It's about the same. So we're talking about size here. That's really the difference. I think I like the bigger nose, so we'll stick with that. All right, cool. Select none. We could even get rid of this thing, or we could hang on to it to give the shape some variance, let's say. So now we have to do the remainder of the body. Okay. And nobody's ever going to see this underside here because of the two skirts. So now we just have to make a decision. I just have to make a decision as to what. Do I give the skirts any thickness? So for the front and back one, they're supposed to be flush, sort of like they can't go in, like they shouldn't be able to get pushed into the treads of this machine, but they should be able to get kicked out in case there's a rock or something that sort of wedges itself up there. We don't want that to lodge into the wall. Although I guess that's true of the other piece too. Anyway, so let's do this. It's Shift S. Move the cursor there. Shift A. We'll do a plane. I don't know if this will work. Hey, it worked. Cool. Because then we just go rotate on the x-axis 90 degrees, and now it's perfect. Well, not quite perfect, because we want to, I think what I want to have it a little askew, a little outwards, but otherwise, very good. Okay, so take this and slide it down, and it doesn't work the way I expect it to. That's fine. I'm just now realizing that I didn't taper out the bottom part of the machine piece. So let's do that. I'm just going to do it by eye. Oh, right. I'm going to do by the medium point. Yeah, that seems fine. Okay. That was me farting by Chopin. Okay, this is fine. This is good. Let us take, I'm going to scale this out a little bit in hopes that it makes it look cooler. It doesn't, but whatever, it's fine. It gives it a little bit more character. The other option, of course, is just to get rid of that. Let's do. Well, no, because that means that we will lose this shape in the nose. Let's try it anyway. Dissolve edge. Yeah. Yeah, I think we need the shape. It doesn't need to be flared out, but just round it out just ever so slightly. I wonder, how does that look? No. The shape that I'm going for, I suppose, is should be boxier because we want this thing to be sturdy. We want it to look sturdy. To round it out makes it also seem maybe a little friendly, approachable. I don't know if I want that. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Here, I got an idea. And then looks nice. It's subtle, sure. Almost nobody will notice it, but I think it does give it a little bit more I don't know, something. It works for some reason. Not entirely sure why. Okay. Jeez. Not what I wanted. Also apparently no, well, yeah, don't want that. Okay, so Shift A, put a plane there. I'm gonna scale it down. Rotate on the y-axis, no, x-axis, 90 degrees. Then we're gonna take the top edge, slide it all the way down. Take the bottom edge, kick it out a little bit. So it conforms with the rest of the taper. Ooh, this is where that piece doesn't really benefit us, does it? Really? Well, that sucks. There we go. Still conforms to the taper. This piece will have to be dealt with, which is unfortunate, but you know, it's fine. Herein lies the problem with having that little bump out like this, is that the skirts won't line up. It's not ideal. Eventually. Oh God, with all these extra lines, this is starting to look angry. That said, you won't see any of these extra lines, but still, you know. Face, Control T, let's get that little bump back a little bit. Just a little bit. And then Alt H, Control R. There we go. Now we have that rounding effect as well as the skirts all taken care of. So think I want to give this depth. Seems fine. Here we go. There we go. Sure, let's have a look at it so far. This looks pretty good. I like this. I'm realizing the skirts are way too big. Way, way too big. And by that I mean too long. So let's get the faces of the bottom of these things. I can even collapse these faces and make it just sort of an edge. Make it a triangle as opposed to what it is now, a rectangle or whatever. All right, I think that's better. Okay, yeah, sure, fine. We have to do I guess another plane. Go to vertex, shift S. Cursor is selected. Shift A, plane. Unfortunately, we already have all of the beats that we need. Here, if that makes any sense. Okay, like that. And then the last one was 3 centimeters. So maintain that. That's fine. Okay, that's good too. Nope. Try again. Okay, so let's select everything. Drop this down a bit because it is too high up. It could also do with a little bit of scaling all around. And proportional adjustments. Let's do it this way instead. Yeah, that looks good. I like that. How am I doing on, ooh, faces 80, 154 tries. That's like tiny. So my question was going to be, should I do hinges? I think the answer's got to be yes, because I have basically no faces here. Alright, so let's say I do a rectangle for the hinges. I could do a triangle, I suppose, but an extruded triangle. But let's say I do an extruded. I don't know what they're called. We'll just say an extruded rectangle, right? That is 6 sides. If I keep all of them, I could drop it down to 4 sides because we just need the left side of the hinge, the right side of the hinge, and then the top, and then the front. Because the other two you're never going to see, so there's no sense in having those polygons. But doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 of them, because there should be 1 on each side of the doors, the skirts. So if there's 8 of them, multiply that by 4. That is 32. Yeah, 32 faces, which is 64 tries, or something like that. Worth it? I also don't know how I'm going to do the treads. So treads are going to be potentially the most quote-unquote expensive thing in the model. It's going to require the most resources, I think. But I don't know. Is it worth it? Is it not? I don't know. All right. So here's the thing. These hinges, they're not going to take a lot of time. I think I've spent more time thinking about it and talking about it than it will actually take for me to make them. And once they're made, I can get rid of them if I feel like they push the model too far. You know, that's a real easy 64 faces or 64 tries that I can get back. So I'm just going to do them. Let's do them. And here's the cool part. I can just do that. Okay, and then we'll do... for these front ones, I'm actually going to have some extra polygons, aren't I? So scale this way down. And that's fine. Scale it out. Like so. I could flex them out like this, and that'll save a little bit of resources, a few resources. oops, hide. So we'll do K, do that. Let me take this back edge, delete the vertices, and we got one hinge right here. So this is going to be 2, 4, 5, 6 as opposed to 8 tries. Yeah, as opposed to 8 tries. Oh, no, that's wrong. 2, 4, no, that's right. That's right. 6. So I could bump it up a little bit and put another edge here. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, it doesn't really add to it, does it? Actually makes it look a little flatter. So there you go. That's what we'll do. We're going to take this and I'm just going to project it onto the surface here. Oh. Right. Yeah, let's delete these faces. Why the heck not? Who's gonna see them? Hardly anybody. Okay, so do that, and then W symmetrize it towards the back. Well, left to right as well. And then we'll do it towards the back as well. That's weird. Why is it doing that? I might not have done it a second time. So F6. Nope. So I'm going to do that. And then W symmetrize. And that's going to be front to back. Which worked out just fine. And actually, now that I've done it that way, let's delete those faces because the fit on here is probably going to be different. Yeah. Whoops. See, this doing things by eye thing is a technique I have not always done or even appreciated. But the more work that I do and the more that I realize sort of like plotting everything out by degrees and figuring out how it should fit exactly, it's just not worth it, man. You still get the same effect by eyeballing it. So why do the extra work? You know? Yeah. Okay, so we have those. Cool. to do these. Is this like a gap here? That's strange. I thought we worked this out. Guess not. Much better. So now we need to add our other hinges. Shift A. Where is this sitting first of all? An appropriate place. Shift A, cube, scale it way down, as we did with the other one, and then scale it down even more. We'll do it like this. This is good. This is good. This is good. This is good. Nudge it out here. There we go. And now again, this one, and this one being the faces. Now we're going to see those, delete those faces. Alt H because I want that back. Let's just extrude it. Not a perfect solution, but it'll do. Edge, delete faces, delete dissolve edges. There we go. So we want these edges. I guess we delete the edges. Nope, that doesn't seem to work either. Aha! This is a really awkward way to do this. man, this turned really wonky. Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. Just like edging it closer and closer to where I need it to be. This takes too much time. Now in this case, I think I kind of have to do it because otherwise it's not going to look the way I want it to, but oh, God, it sucks. Let's see if we can symmetrize it the other way. No, not really. Not successfully anyway. All right then. I think at this point we can go like that. Symmetrize. Not like that though. And we got the other ones. Okay, cool. So I think that's all for now. I might come back to this later tonight or sometime tomorrow. Yeah. If so, I'll see you then, I guess.